Here we go with 6th grade Excel, lesson number 15. We're going to look at three-dimensional figures today, several different kinds of those, and learning the terminology of a flat and curved face, bases, edges, and vertices. This should be review for you, but there might be some new stuff in here, so pay close attention. This is a long lesson. There's a lot of information. I'm going to go super fast, but the beauty of the video lessons is that you can go back and watch this as many times as you need to, pause the video when you need to, and make sure you learn this information because you're going to need to know it. Here we go. Plane figures are also called two-dimensionals, and they have length and width. Three-dimensional figures have length, width, and height. The last lesson we did was on two-dimensional shapes. This is going to be on three-dimensional shapes. They're called solid figures. The dotted lines and shading are provided to help you see the hidden sides of each figure. Can you identify any two-dimensional figures that are used to make the solid figures? So you can see in this one here, this first one, this is a cube. They have shading on this one. They've got dotted lines on that one to help you to see the back. And what they're asking you for is to name any shapes that you see that make up this, in this case, a cube. And so you can see that what we have here is a square. Going back this way is another square. On the top is a square. And so what we do is write right here square, because that is the shapes that is making up that three-dimensional shape. Those are the two-dimensional shapes. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video and try to write in here for number 2 what flat shape, two-dimensional shape you see a figure that makes up this three-dimensional shape. Okay, so you should have written rectangle. The top of this also looks like it might be a square, so you could write square too. All right, go ahead and pause the video, and this one should have two different answers. Two different shapes that are making up this three-dimensional triangular prism. So pause the video, write those in, make your best guess, and then turn it back on. Okay, you can see up here at the top we have a triangle, so you should have written triangle. And then down the side, this is actually a rectangle. You might have said parallelogram, but if you can kind of picture this shape, it would actually be more of a rectangle, which is a parallelogram, of course, as well. Okay, cylinder. Now, on this one, we really only have one true shape that makes up the top and the bottom, but if we were to cut this, picture this being kind of like a toilet paper roll. If you were to cut right here and open that up, what other shape would you have as well? So let's have two answers for this. You can put them here and probably right in here. Pause the video, turn it back on to see the solution. Okay, your answer should be circle. It's on the top and the bottom, and the side is made up of a rectangle that would be wrapped around into that kind of a tube shaped. All right, so a sphere really has no two-dimensional shapes because it's rounded all the way around, and even if you were to cut this somehow, it's not going to come out to be a flat anything. It's really not going to work like that. So we're not going to put any answers for that one, but a ball is a sphere. All right, here's some more shapes. This is a square pyramid, and it says most of the three-dimensional figures have flat faces, which are two-dimensional polygons. Cubes, pyramids, and prisms each have one or more flat faces. So this is a flat face. The side here is a flat face. A flat face is simply a two-dimensional figure. Cones and cylinders have circular bases. These are not considered faces because a circle is not a polygon. In order to be considered a face, it has to be a polygon, which means it has to be three or more straight sides to it that are closed with no curves, and there can't be any curving on it at all. So a circle, like right here, this circle cannot be considered a face. We're going to call that a base instead. Cones, cylinders, and spheres each have one curved surface. A curved surface is something that, let's put it this way, if you set your glass on it, if you set a drink of water, it wouldn't work too well. It would probably tip over and fall off. That's going to be a curved surface. Straight edges are formed where flat faces meet. So on this square pyramid up here, a straight edge would be this line right here, or this line right here. Any of the lines that you see are considered to be straight edges. Curved edges are formed where a curved surface meets a circular base. So let's go back over here and take a look at a curved edge. A curved edge would be like right on here because we have this circular base coming in contact with this curved face, and that's going to be a curved edge. All right, curved edges. So we've learned some new terms. Again, you might have to go back and check that out again. I went really fast with you. Oh, let's go back again and take a look. Here's a rectangular pyramid and a square pyramid. What's the difference? Well, the base on a square pyramid is a square. The base on a rectangular pyramid is a rectangle. And look, a triangular pyramid has a triangle for a base. It also has some triangles that are going up the side as well. But the base of it is going to be a triangle. And then here's a cone, which is really kind of like a circular pyramid, if you want to think of it that way. But there's no such thing. We call this a cone instead, just like an ice cream cone. All right, a vertex, here's another term for you, one more term. A vertex is the point where at least 3 straight edges in 3-dimensional figures or 2 straight lines in 2-dimensional figures come together. All figures except the sphere and the cylinder have at least one vertex. The vertex of a cone is the point formed by its curved surface. The plural of vertex is vertices. So we have 1 vertex and 3 vertices, okay, or 2 vertices. Circle 1 vertex on each of the figures that has a vertex. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through each of these shapes and you're going to circle a vertex on them. Let's do the first one together. Here's a corner right here where basically a vertex is something you can poke somebody with on the shape. And you can poke somebody with that corner right there. So you would circle that. Everybody circle that. Pause the video and then go through and circle 1 vertex on each of these shapes. Turn the video back on once you've done that. Okay, and oh, this says bonus lesson content. You might not have this on your paper, so you might have to just kind of use your imagination for where you would circle those. So this one, here's a vertex, 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 vertex. All those are vertices, and then there would be one vertex right back here in the back that we can't see. Here's some vertices on this, here, 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 and one that we can't see back here. This shape has no vertices on the sphere as well. We have 4 visible vertices here and then 1 invisible vertex in the back. Same thing here. And here we have these, and there actually is no hidden one back there because that looks like a triangular pyramid. And then on the cone, we have 1 vertex right up at the top. Okay, this chart here is pretty tricky. It's going to take you a little while to fill in. We'll do the first part together, then I'd like you to fill the rest in and check it. But what I'd like you to do is count how many of each one of these terms are found on this shape, and then that goes in these boxes along here. So again, we'll do the first one together. Stay with me, and then pause the video. You can do the rest on your own. Vertices. Again, you might have to go back and look at your lesson to remind yourself of what a vertex is. But we're going to count how many vertices are on the cube. And a vertex is something you can poke someone with. So this has 4 on the top, and there's going to be 4 on the bottom because there's going to be 1 hidden back there. So altogether we have 8 vertices. A flat face is a flat shape, surface, that is a polygon. So it has to be a triangle, it has to be a square, it has to be a rectangle. It cannot be a circle or something. And so the flat faces, there's 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and 4 going around the outside. So that makes a total of 6. And think of a dice. You know, on a die, you have 6 sides there, right? Pretty obvious. Circular base. There's no circles on this. There's no circular bases. A curved surface, that would be, again, something you try to set your drink on. It's not going to set very easily. There's no curved surfaces. A straight edge, there is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 across the top. Now, this is getting kind of ugly. Let me erase all of my mess on there. Go back to my pen. So you have 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and then 4 going up and down. So that's a total of 12 straight edges. Curved edges. There are no edges that actually curve on that, so we put a 0. Okay, your job now is to fill in the rest of this chart on your own the best you possibly can. You'll probably miss a few, but just do it on your own so that you can actually think this through and learn it. Then turn the video on to see the solutions. All right, I'm going to go ahead, and you should have all the answers done by now. I'm going to go ahead and show you the answers and go through these. Notice that this next one has the exact same answers as the one above it. The only difference in these two shapes is that this one's a little bit stretched out, a little bit, shorter, but it's basically the same. And our triangular prism, the vertices, we have 1, 2, 3 on this one, 1, 2, 3 on that end, and so that's a total of 6. Flat faces, you have 1, 2, and then 1 in the back, that makes 3, and then 2 on each end, that's 4, 5. There's no circular bases or curved edges. Straight edges, we have 3 on this end, 3 back here on that end, and then you're going to have 3 going across this way. So that makes a total of 9 straight edges and no curved edges. Cylinder has no vertices because there's nothing to poke anybody with. No flat faces because it has to be a polygon. 2 circular bases, 1 here and 1 here. 1 curved surface, it goes around the shape. And no straight edges and 2 curved edges. 1 edge here and 1 edge there. A sphere, a ball, has none of these things except for a curved surface. It's the only thing we have on there. 1 big curved surface that goes all the way around it, just like the Earth. A square pyramid is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 corners to it, 4 vertices, and 1 at the top, making a total of 5. 5 flat faces because around the outside top, you're going to have 4 triangles, and then you have the base down there at the bottom, making 5 flat faces altogether. Circular bases, no circular bases on there, or curved surfaces. 8 straight edges because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 going up, and then 4 going around the bottom, forming the square that's on the bottom. That's a total of 8, and of course no curved edges. A rectangular pyramid is going to be just like a square pyramid. I'm not going to go through the explanation of that. It's just stretching this one out a little bit, just like these two are related to each other. Those two are the same. You can see the numbers come out the same. Triangular pyramid, almost the same, except we have a triangle on the bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3 vertices here, and 1 vertex up at the top, making a total of 4 vertices. And then we have 4 flat faces because we have a triangle as the base, and then 1, 2, 3 around the top. That's 3 plus 1, 4 faces on that, or flat faces. No circular bases, no curved surfaces. Straight edges, we have 3 lines going up and 3 lines going around the bottom, making a total of 6 straight edges and no curved edges. The cone has 1 vertice right up, or 1 vertex right up at the top, has no flat faces because there are no shapes that are polygons in there, no straight lines forming a triangle or bigger. And then we have 1 circular base down here at the bottom. We have 1 curved surface that goes around the whole thing, and no straight edges, and 1 curved edge, and that's the one down here at the base that connects the base of it to the actual cone part. All right, so thanks for watching.